Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A, where we go over all latest news that happened during the week of mobile and tech and answer your questions live. Now, before we get to the news, which is really exciting, honestly, especially if you are a T-Mobile person, or if you're not a T-Mobile person, you might want to be a T-Mobile person soon. Huge news for 5G, probably the biggest since 5G launched. It could be implemented as soon as this upcoming week. But before I get to that, I do want a request from you guys. Any videos you want me to do before the end of the year. I'm going to put myself on a time crunch and basically decide to do at least 10 videos before the end of the year. But I want to see which ones you guys want to do. I owe you guys a lot of videos, from the Pixel to the OnePlus Open to the Folds, all these kind of different videos. What are the videos you most want to see from me over the next 2 weeks? Again, I'm planning on doing 10 videos. That's the challenge I'm giving myself. 10 videos before the end of the year. Let me know what videos you want to see in the comment section and use the hashtag video just so I will spot it after the show. All right, now let's get to it. And the big news this week, I will have to say, has to go to the fact that T-Mobile is about to get the 2.5G spectrum that they have wanted since they bought Sprint. So again, as always, we're not going to get into politics here. So that's the main thing I just want to go over before I get into this. We're not going to go into politics here. Just kind of want to touch on a little bit of it because we're just going to talk about what this means. So, it passed through Congress essentially to have the 5G 2.5 gigahertz released finally. The reason why this has been such a controversial one is because airplanes used to be on the 2.5 and so did military. So, because of that, they didn't want it clogged up, right? So, what they essentially had to do is have another spectrum specifically for airplanes, and military had already gotten off 2.5 when Sprint started it, so they're pretty much done with it. But now airplanes have had ample time to adjust as well. So here's the thing: 2.5 gigahertz has been called the Goldilocks spectrum because there's three types of 5G, and 2.5 is the one we always wanted, but have yet to get until this is officially signed by the president. I'm not even going to say the name, just because, again, by the president. Once the president signs this, it is active for T-Mobile to finally use 2.5 gigahertz full range. And the best part is they already have towers set up for this. They have towers ready and waiting to activate 2.5 gigahertz, and it's been waiting for a while. So, why is 2.5 such a big deal? Well, there's three types of 5G bands. Two have been implemented long over, and the 2.5 has been the one kind of waiting in the wings. So the first one was what T-Mobile originally as a company launched before they bought Sprint. So what they launched was low band spectrum, 5G. So this is 700 megahertz, I believe was it? Yeah, megahertz. I want to say 700 megahertz spectrum. Now this was essentially to give you better than LTE service everywhere, because it was the wavelength could basically penetrate any building. It could penetrate a long distance. So the example I always gave is once T-Mobile did this from LA to Las Vegas, that drive, I had 5G the entire way. I was able to stream the entire way there. That is something that I did not have when there was 4G LTE around. However, it wasn't much faster. So, the big promise of 5G, oh man, it's going to be crazy and all that stuff. We didn't actually get that. Hence, Verizon and AT&T boasted the fastest 5G, which was called millimeter wave. And those speeds are very impressive. They are gigahertz speeds. So you get gigahertz, or sorry, you get 1 gigabit per second in terms of this, right? So very, very fast internet connection, extremely fast, faster than anyone's home service, really, for the most part. But there was a problem with that. And that problem was that we did not get that in terms of any kind of distance. Millimeter wave is basically line of sight. So, what I told people a long time ago was millimeter wave is basically worthless till we get it on every streetlight. When we get millimeter antennas on every streetlight in across America, or at least starting off in the big cities, then millimeter wave will matter. The reason why it doesn't matter otherwise is because a piece of paper could block millimeter. This cleaning cloth right here, could block a millimeter wave. Like rain can block millimeter waves. A tree with leaves on it could block millimeter waves. It cannot pierce through almost anything. So the exact opposite of it, right? Extremely fast speeds, can't pierce anything, can't go through any building. If you turn around the corner, which was the joke of millimeter wave was, from the millimeter wave 5G Verizon antenna that they had in New York, you lost millimeter wave. That's how simple it was. Very easy. However, 2.5 gigahertz. This is the sweet spot. This is going to give you 200 up to 700 really megabits per second download speeds and upload speeds. So this is huge because this could replace most people's home internet and give you faster speeds, especially when it comes to uploads. This is really exciting for not only the fact that smartphones might get much, much faster internet service, but more importantly, or maybe not more importantly, but very important, this will give T-Mobile a huge boost to their broadband service of getting internet anywhere for your home. Because this type of speed is faster than all the Spectrum, then Cox, and what do you call it? All of these you know basic internet services that are horrible and that we've just had to live with. This is completely going to be a game changer. T-Mobile getting 2.5 gigahertz spectrum is a game changer. It is awesome because you are about to get so much faster internet speeds than we have had before, and I'm super excited for this. This is, again, something that we've been waiting for since T-Mobile bought Sprint, and it's about to be activated. It's exciting, it's really cool, and we'll see if it lives up to the hype. We have to see if it lives up to the hype. But the potential of this is just so much better internet everywhere you go. But again, what I would say more importantly is that we finally get rid of the horrible broadband speeds that we've all been forced to do. Just if you live here, you get this internet. If you live here, you get this internet. This is really the game changer of getting T-Mobile broadband home internet to be a true competitor, to be a game changer, to really give you 500 plus megabit speeds upload and download as a true possibility with their service. So that's what I'm really excited about, to be quite honest. Let me know what you guys think. I think this is going to be awesome. It's definitely the biggest news, and it hasn't been talked about that much. Maybe there will be more political theater. Again, it's past all of Congress. It really only has to be signed and it's enacted. But I am really excited for this. I am so excited for this just because the potential of this to finally get the fastest form of internet is just really great. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Again, I cannot stress this enough. T-Mobile has towers with this already in the field, and they have promised that it will upgrade 50 million Americans immediately. Or sorry, 50 million active users immediately. And then 3 million households for broadband service will immediately get this better internet. That is awesome. Like, that is so awesome. Let me know what you guys think, but this is something that we've been waiting for a long time, and it's finally coming. So let me know what you guys think. I cannot wait for this kind of internet speed. I am hoping that my city, I'm not directly in Los Angeles. I'm a little outside of Los Angeles. So I hope I will still get the 2.5 gigahertz speeds in my area. But if I do, man, so I was just thinking about this the other day, and again, this is why I think it's so important. I was very lucky. When I first moved out of my parents' house, I moved into an apartment complex. That apartment complex had FiOS, Frontier FiOS Internet, right? Or sorry, not Frontier. It was Verizon FiOS at the time, and then they sold it to a company called Frontier. Um, my first condo, the first time I purchased a home, was in Spectrum's world. So I had to choose, Spectrum. It was a horrible experience, horrible upload speeds. A video would take me going from 1 to 2 minutes upload at my old apartment to legit 15 to 20 minutes for an upload. It was so bad. Once I started upgrading my quality, it was even worse. So the fact that now, I moved to a new home. I got lucky again. I have FiOS internet, so it's very fast. I'm very happy with it. But I am really excited for this because one of the things, as a person that looks to move, I have learned to become conscious of is legit, like legit. If I would buy a home, I would want to look at what kind of internet it is because it matters that much to me that I have that good of an internet, right? It's that important to me. But what if I have like my dream home, great price, great everything, right? I want to buy a home, and if I'm a first time home buyer or whatever, and I have bad internet in that area, I would be, it's like, well, I have to get the house. It's worth it, everything else. But if it has bad internet in that area, it just kind of sucks for me, doesn't it? With this, it could legit be the start of finally opening up the internet for anyone to have better internet service and not be stuck with crappy internet service. And it's because you didn't have a choice. It's like, these have been such territories. Oh, Spectrum owns this area, AT&T owns this area, whatever company, Verizon owns this area, what all these different companies, they have monopolized just internet for a long time, so you didn't have a choice. Like whatever you got, you got. This is a game changer for me, and I really hope that it's the beginning of getting better internet wherever you live, wherever you move to. That's the exciting part for me. All right. Now that being said, about some other updates. Of course, everyone wants to know about the Galaxy S24. So, the weekly updates for this is camera processing is meant to look more realistic. I think, this might change the final software. Samsung controls the sharpening and saturation more properly. I don't mind. I've never minded Samsung's sharpening and the color vibrancy. Let's say, I've never minded those. Other people have. Other people have said like, oh, it's too, poppy color, rainbow, vomit, garbage. Sure, if you feel that way, then great. I don't need realistic colors. I think the only time I ever hear anyone say they want realistic colors is when I'm around influencers. Like when I'm around influencers and they have a photography background, they have that, need for it to be exactly how they record it, or filmmakers that, they know they know the vision they want to see, and I understand that. I respect it. I just want glorious, amazing popping colors. That's how I like my stuff. So that's what I like. But this could change, but it looks like it's going to be more realistic. The funny thing to me is more people than not, and you can see it on MKBHD's blind comparison camera test that is going on right now. Apple is never the favorite, and they are the most realistic colors generally, right? So it tells you what the people want. I think having a feature of neutral as an option, great. Having that be the default as a choice, great. But for me, if I would own an iPhone, I would always put it to the saturation filter and have that be the default because it's just better. That's my opinion. All right. Basically, AI, this is what we've been hearing about since for the last 2 weeks. I've told you guys about it. It's going to be Galaxy AI. It's going to be they're calling it an AI phone. AI is going to be the word of 2024. Like, as much as it has been for 2023 with the launch of it, Every company is getting behind it, as we'll learn more about with Google later. But every company is getting behind AI, so that is going to be the word of the Samsung event. Also, we are getting the titanium gray for the S24 Ultra. Some people have said it looks better than the natural for the iPhone 15 Pro. Great. We'll have to wait to see how it turns out. That was the preferred color by influencers too, that they like the natural one the best. But I'm very curious to see how this one looks. We'll have to wait and see. And feels great to hold, even though it's flatter. I'm very curious on that. I'm a fan of being a flat bottom, but not always on the sides. Like I did like a little bit of curvy on it, but let me know what you guys think. Are you excited for a more squared off S24 Ultra? Let me know in the comment section. All right, and then just pin that one. Sorry. All right, then we're also getting the global launch of the OnePlus 12 coming globally January 23rd. Now, this is going to have one of the first phones out there with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, 24 gigs of RAM, or at least up to 24 gigs of RAM with it. 12 is the starting point, up to 1 terabyte of storage, 50-watt wireless charging. Finally got back wireless charging after all this time. I do not have it on my OnePlus Open. Um, and yeah, a new sensor for the cameras. We'll have to wait and see how it turns out. I haven't heard much feedback from other influencers. I am sure at CES, when I see a bunch of influencers, I will see that phone. I will see the phone that people already have, which might be that one and another phone, from what I hear. So that should be fun to see. But yeah, it's gonna be those this phone and another phone that most influencers will have in the month of January. But yeah, so we'll have to wait and see. It also looks like we might get a OnePlus 12R, which is kind of interesting. It hasn't been an R for a while. We've gotten the T before. But let me know what you guys think in the comments about that. Like, how do you think about OnePlus? By the way, the price for the base model was 610 in China. Now, we're not sure if that will increase. Maybe it'll be 699. But if it's 599, I'm not gonna lie, I'll probably get it. I'll probably get it for 599 to really take a look at it and see how the OnePlus is comparing nowadays. I did make this my daily driver, the OnePlus Open. Finally, they fixed the software issues. An update came last week. Finally fixed a lot of the software issues that I had been having. To reiterate, I couldn't do split screen before. I still can't do contacts for direct dial. I don't know why that's not a feature on here. And it is an issue. It's a bug with it because of the fact that I was able to do it on a third-party launcher, but not on the OnePlus launcher. So yeah, it sucks. But that is one thing that hopefully they will keep fixing with the OnePlus Open. All right. The other big thing is that apparently the Pixel 9, when it comes out next year, I know we just got the Pixel 8 set in pros and all that. It looks like it will be using something called the Pixie AI. This apparently is a feature that will also be given to Samsung smartphones. Basically, an AI-driven platform supported by sorry, that's my printer. An AI software supported by Gemini. Now, Gemini, we went through a little bit last week about Gemini. I think it was Gemini Pro, Ultra, and I forget what the other one was called. Maybe Gemini Mini. Gemini Mini, I think is or Light. I'm trying to remember which one was the. That one is on the 8 Pro, basically with some of its technology, but it's really supposed to showcase it more and more. So we'll have to wait and see how AI really plays a factor. But it is going to be interesting to see that if it will come to, Samsung phones as well, because it looks like Samsung's going to try their own AI stuff for this phone, for the S24, but, there always could be updates or future plans for partnerships. It really just depends on how much money is brought to the table. I guarantee you, Microsoft was probably really pushing for ChatGPT because this was their if Microsoft could ever replace Google on Samsung phones. This is it. Like, this is their one big shot before I believe anyway that Google's Gemini and Google's Bard assistant will just take off this year and leave ChatGPT in the dust by the end of the year. That's my opinion. We'll have to wait and see if I'm right or not. But I just think that's what's going to happen. This is Microsoft's one chance to do better, but we'll have to wait and see how it goes. All right. I do have kind of depressing news, and this is as of an hour ago and after a latest update from Apple. Um, you guys heard me talk about this last week. Beeper Mini was, a app that finally brought and fixed it so people could message from Android and iPhones, and it would be perfect. No issues. It was good for about 3 days, and then Apple canceled it. Basically, they had reverse engineered iMessage. Um, and in doing so, they had found out, like, oh, we can make it so, a phone number is all you need, and then you just message each other, right? Apple canceled that workaround. So basically, a friend that I had already text messaged with, that had an iPhone, I messaged him and immediately went from green bubble to blue bubble on his phone. And when messaging through this service, I was actually able to send him a full length video with 4K quality, and it was not diminished at all. It was perfect. Great, absolutely great. Again, that was broken in 3 days. Beeper then tried to go around it and figure out that, okay, unfortunately, they locked out our way to do it with phone number, and that's all you needed. But they did find a different way, or basically a workaround, to kind of keep it so that if you can link your Apple ID to the app and then still message without them using a server farm, which is essentially, what other companies have done this. They had a farm of just iMacs. And so the iMacs would be passing through all of the information. This was adamant that it did not want to do that. So what it did instead was, well, actually, we through our reverse engineering, we still found out a way to Apple blocked it, so all the person on the iPhone would have to do is text you your number. What you have to do is give them your Apple ID, and then you can message each other and still keep everything great. Apparently, as of this morning, that no longer works for 60% of the users. They're trying to figure out if there's any other way to do it, but as of this morning, it doesn't look like it's working for a lot of people. I don't know if this will be the end of it. I don't know if they'll keep finding, other workarounds to try to fix it. But Apple has vowed to just basically shut this whole thing down. It sucks. And a lot of influencers and a lot of people brought up the, like, why do people want iMessage on Android? Android users don't want iMessage. They don't. We just want to be able to text a video and it look good. We just want to be able to see when you read a message. We can do that on Android. We can do that Android to Android, no problem. RCS. It's fully encrypted. I can text all my family members. I can text them all. I can see when they're texting me. I can send them videos. I do that. It's a standard across all of Android. iMessage is another thing, right? iMessage has its own thing, and they do not want to work completely with RCS. Now, they did commit to working with RCS next year, but they're still going to have a lot of limitations to it. The basic things is with RCS that Apple will adopt is essentially, okay, we'll give it so that photos and videos will look good. Great. That's awesome. That's a great start. But they want to hold back everything else. Because see, there's a license-free version of RCS, and then there's one that's been developed and done better, and that would have them to make agreements and do stuff like that. And they don't want to do any of that. So they're okay with doing the bare minimum, and they're okay with doing that because the EU was going to force them to. This is the way they were able to do it on their own terms. So that's why this app was, something that was going to be special. It's going to be great. That's what was kind of the hope of it, but it does look like, I don't know how much it can keep taking, how much it will be shut down again. But that's the idea, and that's what Android users want. They don't want iMessage. They just want to be able to text their friends on any platform, regardless of what it is, and it to work. That's it. That's all there is to it. All right. Then we have two more articles to go, and then I will start to answer your questions. If you have any questions you want to ask them in the comment section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. Now, I do have a special pinned comment to the top today as well. I just want to take a break to kind of let you guys know. Let me know what videos you want to see from me before the end of the year. Put hashtag video, so I'll take a look at it later. But the idea behind it is I want to make sure that I try to do 10 videos before the end of this year. That's my commitment. That's what I'm trying to do. But I want to know what videos you guys want to see. So let me know what videos you guys want to see before the end of the year. If you want to see it on the OnePlus Open, if you want to see it on the Pixel phone, if you wanted to see on Samsung phone, maybe a hidden features for the S23. I never did that one. If you want to see that, whatever you want to see, let me know in the comments. Just do hashtag video and I will do it. If you want to see the ROG Ally, if you want to see the Pixel tablet, if you whatever you want to see, let me know and I will try to do it within before the end of the year. That's my goal. So yeah. All right. Now, the Nothing phone has been a very interesting phone, right? We had the Nothing Phone 1, which is a very cheap affordable phone at I think it was like $299 or $349 I think when it came out. Then we had the Nothing Phone 2, which was substantially a little bit more expensive. I think at $599 is when it came out. And it didn't do as well, I would say, as the first Nothing phone for the most part, but it was good for the price and, still gave you a lot. It was just harder to compete because you're competing more with Pixel and Galaxy FE at that point. Now, Nothing is coming out with another phone called the Nothing 2A. And the really interesting thing about it is, like, what will this phone essentially be? Now, we're getting some things from it that it will have a Dimensity 7200. That's a good chipset, especially if they're going at a cheaper price point. It will be announced at MWC in Barcelona. And I'm very curious to see what we're going to get here. Because I think if Nothing Phone gives us a good camera, like if they keep the camera from the Nothing Phone 2 with this processor and take some of the other stuff away, I think you'll have a great phone. But I would just say, don't lose the quality that you gained on the camera and don't take a step back because then I think it won't do well. But yeah, that's my thought. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I think the Nothing Phone is still interesting. I still think we need more competition, so I'm all here for another phone. I just don't know what it would be. So yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts. All right, and in the last bit of information, I just think this is kind of cool. So Intel just announced a new processor, and this is the processor we've been waiting for. The best video I would recommend is Dave 2D just did a video on this, and this new processor essentially is made and I think does very well at competing with Apple's new processors, right? The M2 and the M3 and everything like that. But also, so it's made to be, extremely powerful, but also very energy efficient, giving you a 10 plus hour battery life that actually is 10 plus hours and not just up to 10 plus hours, but actually is 10 plus hours. So that's great. And look for it's called the Core Ultra. There's going to be Core Ultra, I think 7 is what we have right now. I'm assuming we're going to get the other ones, at least with the rumor mill stuff. We'll have to wait and see. But the thing that I'm very interested in is a new competitor to the gaming space. Because, see, all of the things out right now, Steam Deck, ROG Ally, Lenovo Legion Go, even PlayStation 5, Xbox, have all been AMD based. And what this new chipset provides is not only a built-in, powerful CPU, but also a really good GPU built in. And so, how Apple, Samsung, Qualcomm, all these companies have done this is by doing one chip that has everything, right? A CPU, a GPU, an MPU, image processor, all these different things, all on one chip. This is the first time Intel has done this, and to this degree. And this is really exciting because it's apparently, could be better than the Steam Deck, better than the ROG Ally, all those kind of ones. So very curious to see how it will go. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section on that. I think it's pretty cool. I'm hoping we see some of these things at CES. That's where I'm guessing a lot of these will be at, and I will be there to cover it. So yeah, should be fun. All right, guys, now let's get to your questions. If you have a question you want to ask, just ask it in the comment section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. So whatever you're thinking of, guys, let me know in the comment section. What do you want to see me make as a video before the end of the year? If you're watching this after the show, I will keep my tabs on. Just do hashtag video so I know that that's a video you want to see before the end of the year. Also, I think this is the last week, right? If you guys want me to make any recommendation on some tech gifts that you're planning or trying to get, this is it, right? Because if you are planning on getting a gift for someone next week, you kind of need to buy it this week to get them on time. So yeah, let me know what you guys thinking about that, because that is definitely going to be something that we're running out of time on. So yeah. All right. Fascinating. I hope Verizon gets something like my 5G sucks. Yeah, Verizon and AT&T really bet the horse on millimeter waves. They have both since got low band 5G, but they have been unable to really keep up with the 2.5 spectrum, as many accuse T-Mobile of hoarding it. While I do believe that this will also help AT&T and Verizon activate the 2.5 gigahertz spectrum they have, this is really going to be the biggest impact for T-Mobile because they have the most of it. So yeah. Why did 3G go away? Mainly because 3G was given the spectrum of 2G was entirely given to other ways of communication, and same with 3G. So the easy way to think of this is there's lots of different kind of waves out there and frequencies we can tap into. Um, 1G, 2G, and 3G all worked on different spectrums. So the communication, though, doesn't need to be that, right? So, say if you want a spectrum for airplanes, for instance, right? Well, airplanes need to have more reliable connection than fast connection. They don't really need speed, right? They don't need fast internet speed to, uh, simultaneously broadcast 4K videos to each other. They just need consistent speed. So airplanes could be fine with 3G and communicating to towers and across the nation, no problem, right? So that's how you have to think of it, is everything needs their spectrum to work on. And that is the way that it could be easiest to say. But yeah, that is what I will kind of leave that at without getting too technical. Because even I don't know everything about it, but I have educated myself to be well versed in at least being able to talk about different things. But I always like to break down the basics because I feel that's the most important for everyone to have. There are days when my phone gets no connection. Wow. What area are you in, Paul? I'm very curious to see where Verizon doesn't get connection. I remember, and I told this story a lot. I was with Verizon back in the AirTouch days. So I was, Verizon since I was in middle school, I think was when I had my first non-smartphone for sure. Green and black text phone, right? One of the first smartphones I would say that looked like small enough to be like, I think it was about this big. Like it was very small compared to the old flip ones that like my mom originally had one of those, the Motorola ones that opened up and you had to flip it to talk. So That being said, right, I will say that Verizon was the best connection in Los Angeles forever. Like, it was the best. But I was there because when I worked for several different marketing companies, I was there and I got T-Mobile as a service for my work phone. So I had Verizon and T-Mobile, and I started to see T-Mobile get better and better from being the worst connection to being a better connection eventually. That's when I made the switch. I moved over my whole family to it, and so haven't looked back since. But yeah, I'm curious to see how different that's been because at the time when I left it, Verizon was still the better, or supposedly the better, fastest and best 5G, but T-Mobile was gaining ground and they were doing all the right moves. And yeah, I think that's why they were set up for 5G even better than Verizon and AT&T were prepared to be. Um, Drone video, interesting. I do not own a drone, so I don't know if I could do that, but interesting concept. It's something I might look out for. And CES, I definitely have been invited to review drones before, but I just haven't done it. Maybe I could take a look at that. I think the more interesting is there anyone out there as good as DJI, right? And the reason why I don't review drones mostly is because I'm kind of in the no fly zone in most areas near me. It's very few areas in Los Angeles where you can actually fly a drone legally, because you're not supposed to fly within, I think, like 5 miles from an airport, and I'm or not sorry, not 5, 15 miles from an airport, and I'm pretty close to multiple airports. So I would have to see about that, but yeah, that's the main thing why I've never really been interested in drones that much. Um, let's see. I hope 4G LTE never goes away because I love my S10 and my SE. Um, I think 4G will still be around for a while. I don't see that going away anytime soon. But who knows if it's needed, especially after the Switch, it could be a thing. Um, what's ChatGPT good for? Interesting. So what I say is ChatGPT, the best thing is giving you a start on a project. That's what I would say the best thing ChatGPT is good for. So, sorry, just worried about my camera getting a little bit overheated. Let me turn that up. So here's what I would say. ChatGPT, the best thing about it is getting started on a project. And it really can be for a lot of things. Like ChatGPT, you can type in anything for math and it'll solve an equation. You can ask it to build you HTML formatting for a website, and it'll do that. You can ask it to find a problem with coding, and it'll do that. You can ask it to write you an essay on something. You can ask it to write you a resume with these key points, highlighting these key points. You can ask it to, write you a script for a YouTube video. You can ask it for all of these kind of things. Is it going to do any of it great? No. No, it will not. At least I've used ChatGPT 3.5. I've yet to use ChatGPT 4 Turbo, which is the best version of it currently right now. That's a paid for version. I haven't used that one. But it's not going to do, from 3.5, I will say that it doesn't do any of those great. It does do a good job of it, though. It does do a good job up to the point where if you want to start with that, it's perfect. Like, it is perfect. And sometimes, especially when writing anything, that blank page can be the longest thing you spend time on, right? The longest thing you spend time on is a blank page. So having an idea already written for you to start with is really where ChatGPT shines, I would say. But that's what I would say it's for, what it's good for. But let me know what you guys think. That's what I would say. Like, what I would use ChatGPT for is to get me started on a project. Will it be able to finish it for me? No, but it will get me started on it. Had T-Mobile home internet, it worked okay. The big problem we had was Hulu Live didn't like your IP address changing, so they would kick you off until you contact them. Interesting. Um, you should be able to have a static IP. It's not as secure, but you should be able to make any router into a static IP if you want. The reason you don't do that and you always have a dynamic IP is because obviously you want to change forward. But there, I don't know. That's an interesting issue that it would have with it and not be able to solve it. Very interesting. Um, yeah, I would have. Well, I'll look into it more. I never had Hulu Live, but I did have like Sling TV when I had the T-Mobile internet when I first used it. And I said in that video that it wasn't ready at the time. I'd be very curious to see how it is now. That was um, a year and a half ago, I want to say, when I last tried it. So obviously time has passed. But yeah, very curious to see how it would be now. Um, Definitely want the hidden features on the S23 if possible. Got it. I will look. I will try to do that then. Pixel Fold new software and changes. I do not have a Pixel Fold anymore, so I do not have that. If you want me to do the software changes like video boost that did come to the Pixel Pro 8, I can go over that. But I just don't have that one on there. Ricky, will you get GTA 6 when it comes out? Do you think game development is becoming too expensive? GTA 6 nearly cost $1 billion to make. So, will I get GTA 6 when it comes out? Yes, I will. Will I play it? Probably not. I have actually, funny or not, been the person who played GTA in my house. That would be my wife. She loved it and really did it, and I more like just enjoyed watching her play because of how much she loved the game. She played Red Dead 2. It's not that I just never got into the GTA's. And look, this one looks absolutely amazing, absolutely stunning. I've always been weary of certain open world games because I'm a person with a very addictive personality and I want to have a social life. And I want to be able to give my kids time and I want to be able to do things. That kind of game, if I let it, could consume my life a lot. So it scares me a little bit just because of I know my own personality. Um, so yeah, that's my thoughts on GTA 6. It looks absolutely stunning. There's multiple times in the trailer when I was like, are they mixing real scenes with with fake ones? Because some scenes just look that real. So it's absolutely stunning. If you haven't watched the GTA 6 trailer, I highly recommend you do it. Just to see how far we're coming in gaming in quality. Now, is gaming developing being too expensive? I would actually argue that it's becoming cheaper. As time has gone by, we're getting better and better things to make coding and gaming development insanely better looking compared to what it was even 3 years ago. Like the tools the developers have now are far more advanced. Um, even the free tools, like the more advanced tools, obviously cost more and everything like that. But even the free tools have gotten much better. So that is a big highlight for me. However, GTA 6 may have cost $1 billion. GTA 6 will also make probably in the realm of $2 to $5 billion within the first 5 years of it launching. That's how profitable the gaming industry is. The gaming industry, it makes more money than the movie industry, music industry, you know, all of these other industries combined. The gaming industry is extremely profitable. And although that cost $1 billion, you know, there are plenty of games that make money in the freemium world, right? I mean, as good as Blizzard was, as good as you know, Blizzard was in terms of you know, in terms of Activision, Blizzard, and King, which was the mobile division. This company that Microsoft bought, King makes the most money. More than Blizzard, more than World of Warcraft, more than all the Activision titles, more than Call of Duty and everything like that. King makes more money. So yeah, that is the world we live in where, uh, you know, Not a game that I will say doesn't take much resources because it did. I mean, I'm sure the game developers took a lot of time and care to it. But when you make a mechanism that will make people come back, that will make people spend money, that will make people spend $2 here, $5 here. Hey, I'm going to spend $20 on this one game because I spent so many hours playing it. You make money. Even more than charging $60 to $80 for a game. So, yeah. Uh, there's, while it has gotten more expensive, it's truly not at the same level as, um, as like, it is expensive, but it makes so much money too. All right. Uh, I love your show. I have been following you since you started on YouTube. Wow, that's been a long time. 11 years. Coming up on the 12th year, actually. Sorry for the last minute question request, but could you do a video on the Fitbit Sense 2? My wife just told me she wants that. Um, for Christmas, got it. I have never reviewed Fitbit. I have never reviewed it. It's just never been my thing. I have been a big person of smartwatches. Have gotten every Samsung watch that ever came out. Right now, I'm doing the Pixel Watch 2, which uses Fitbit. But I've just never been into Fitbit itself as a company. When Google bought it, I knew it would more be a part of it. But probably, I honestly, I might not be able to before the end of the but within the 2 weeks, I will put it on the list of things. And some of you guys are requesting ones that I don't have. That I like a drone. I do not have a drone. I do not have Fitbit Sense, and I can look into getting those. Right, like what a drone could be like. Not unsignificant amount of money, but it could be $300 $400. The Fitbit Sense 2 looks like it retails for about $230. So really the same price as a lot of smartwatches out there. I'd be very curious to see how this one compares to the Pixel Watch because the Pixel Watch is essentially one of the more advanced Fitbits now because again Google bought Fitbit. So I'd be curious to see how it compares. I'm sure the Fitbit will have a longer battery life because it probably doesn't use the Wear OS version, and that's what really stands out for it. But yeah, it looks like the sleeping. Sorry, I'm just taking a look at it right now. It does the sleep tracking, which a lot of the smartwatches do now. It does do most of the health metrics. Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, most of these are in regular Pixel Watch as well. Different design. My guess is this one's gonna have really the biggest thing it's gonna have is a longer battery life. I would just imagine this would have a longer battery life. But I haven't seen that yet. Battery life varies. Well, yeah, but I'll have to check on that. But I'll take a look into it for you. Okay. Ricky, is there a way to change the color of text messages in the S22 Ultra? Thank you. I have not used Samsung text messaging for quite a while. Actually, I've used Google messaging, which no, I don't really change the theme for it. I do not have my S23 Ultra. Would be the closest thing to it. But I would check Samsung text messaging. I think how you used to change it in Samsung messages was you would go into the message and then go into settings within that text message because each person could change. You could change. You used to be able to change the messaging on every single section, but they got more standardized. They did get more standardized, so less customization. Google Messages just finally let you update the wallpaper on text messages, so that's new. But Samsung went a little bit more static over the past few years, so I don't know if they still allow you to do that. But at least the way you were able to do it before was go into the message you want to change the background of or change the color of, and then go into setting the three dot menu on that one, and that's how you used to be able to change it. If you already done it, if you could let me know. I haven't. I haven't, unfortunately. Also, I still use the Note 9. Can you tell me Good Lock still works on it? I never downloaded it, and now considering. Yeah, Good Lock works on it. You just go to the Galaxy store. I think before it used to be called the Samsung store at the time. Now it's called the Galaxy store, and that's how you get it. So you get it from Samsung store, not the Google Play store. You get it from the Galaxy store, and that's where you get Good Luck from. And yeah, it's still better than ever. I did a recent video on Good Luck. I want to say in this year, 2023, and I did, didn't I? I'm trying to remember if I did it. It was 2023, maybe it was 2022. But just look on my channel for Good Luck, and it's definitely, uh, a great app that I would still highly recommend. It makes Samsung better than every other Android in my opinion because of Good Luck. That really does make it so much better. I have a Pixel Fold. Google Messenger is now updated. AI very nice. AI. I also have AI wallpapers, plus the new camera features too. Ricky. Yeah. I have. I said last week actually on the Google Messages AI feature that I thought was very interesting because like it first suggested like, hey, we can do these responses, and it was kind of scary how good the responses were. The person was having a bad day, and it got to like, "Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you on a Monday. Is there anything I can do?" Like things like I'm like very specific, and I'm like, I want to respond myself, not you respond. The AI, so that was a little bit interesting. AI wallpapers I think are really cool. And yeah, the camera features I've been playing with over the past few weeks, since the Google Pixel 8 Pro got it. So I am testing out video boosting. I recently tested it at my daughter's cheer event, so I'm really curious to see low light how this video quality is going to look with video boost. So I will probably be doing a video boost video recently. That's the best feature of AI that Google just got over the past 2 weeks. I still remember the Atari 2600. How far we've come. I remember the TurboGrafx 16 consoles. Yes, gaming has gone a long way for sure. Can you do groups on Google Messages? I tried in the past to use groups in Samsung a lot. Like like group messaging or like a specific like folder of messages. I just want to clarify. But group messaging, yes, you can do it. I have several group messages on my Google Photos and have been able to do that on Samsung and on OnePlus with group messaging. Yes. What is Good Lock? Good Lock is an app that is only available for Samsung phones. Like it would be available. I think you said you had an S10 earlier, right? That would be great. Like it's really good for you to learn that, just because it will change a lot of the phone. It allows you to customize the phone way more than you probably thought you could, and it makes your phone really into a whole new phone. So yeah. Categories like friends, coworkers, stuff like that. I don't think so. I've never tried though, so let me see. Um, I don't think so though. Message organization, nope. Huh. I do not believe so. No, there's no way to do it as far as I can tell on a quick glance. No, there's no way to do categories like friends, coworkers, things like that. You can do group messages, but nothing like like I could have colleagues and every text message from with my colleagues I can put in there. No, nothing like that that I can see. But yeah. All right, guys. I think I will be wrapping up. Again, if you do get any more after this video is done, if you do get any more videos that you want to see me do by the end of the year, please let me know. I'm going to look into the Fitbit Sense 2. I'm going to look into drones. And then also, I think the third one, which is the one that I could definitely do, is the S23 Ultra or the S23 hidden features video. Never did that one, so I will do that one. Any other videos you want to see, let me know and I will take a look at them. Favorite apps or apps on your phone? I don't know if that's really changed since my last one. It's always fun to check that out because I haven't done it for a while. So it is fun to see what new apps have been a part of it. But I feel like most of my apps have been the same for the most part. So it'd be curious to see what new few apps have gotten in and ones that I'm using on a daily basis. So yeah. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please give a like, thumbs up before you head out. And again, make sure to do the hashtag video on any videos you want to see me do before the end of the year. Again, my goal is to try to do 10 before the end of the year. But I want to know which one should I focus on for you guys. Thank you as always so much for watching. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy.
Thank you so much again for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below. Also, follow us on social media at YouTube Tech Guy, and check out some more great tech videos on your screen right now.